Hello everyone and welcome back to another modding tutorial. Today we will be going over item groups and item tooltips, a subject I've been rather excited to go over as it brings forth greater opportunities for creative expression within the game. I would like to discuss for a moment the comment section on these videos, and I'd like to express how appreciative I am of the positivity and praise I've seen in regards to my tutorials. It really keeps me going, and as a new YouTuber, every viewer, subscriber, and commenter is precious to me. That aside, let's get right into it. To start off our item groups, we are going to use the Fabric Item Group Builder to create them. Inside of your main class, you are going to want to insert the following code: public, static, final, item group, and then the name of your item group. For this, I'm going to call it new item group equals Fabric Item Group Builder. You're going to want to import that and then do .build, do an open parenthesis, new identifier, another parenthesis, the name, tutorial, oh my bad, only one parenthesis there, and then general. Place a comma, go down a line, get more parentheses. Then you're going to want this, it's sort of an arrow symbol. It has a similar function to the dot. It's another accessor symbol. Then you go to another new item stack, more parentheses, and here is where you are going to insert the item or block that is going to display on your creative tab. For me, I'll just make it something generic like wood. So blocks.acacia wood. That'll work. Closing parenthesis, and then a semicolon. You're going to want to import item stack. Now, I know on the fabric tutorial it has it formatted like this. There is nothing wrong with this at all. I think it is perfectly fine. I tend to leave this as one uninterrupted line. Quick side note, for those of you who have updated your Java currently to run a Minecraft 1.17 server, you are going to need to reconfigure your home and path variables. Fortunately, IntelliJ IDEA has a solution for us. If you happen to experience an error such as this, you can go into Run, go to Edit Configurations, and then make sure this is selecting the main class here. Upon doing that, you will get another message down here. Please use JDK instead of JRE for the Gradle importer. Go ahead and open the Gradle settings down here. And then instead of the Java home path variable, we are going to use the 1.8 version here, which should be installed automatically with IntelliJ IDEA. If you do have trouble with this, feel free to ask me in the Discord, link will be in the description, about any Java related issues. Click apply, click OK, and then you can press this play button and the game should start up just fine. Additionally, if you are using extra mods like I am in this run mods path here, you are going to need to use the Fabric Run Client option instead of the option up here. For our purposes here, this is absolutely fine, even though this is not its designated use. Once the Fabric API and the mods are properly updated and agree to play along, we will not experience this issue any longer. Now you will see that we do have a creative tab and it has the acacia wood symbol here. However, it does not have a proper name. Let's fix that. First of all, why don't we change this item to one that is part of our mod? For that, we would want to use new item. Alright, you better be ready for it. There's another Java lesson coming up. This variable, new item, is declared after this one. This is a forward reference. Well, an illegal forward reference for that matter. See, in Java, like most other coding languages, the computer reads the code line by line from top to bottom. This becomes a problem when you attempt to reference a variable that has not been instantiated yet. There are two main approaches to fix this. You can simply declare the item group after the item, or you can reference the item by calling upon the main class. So instead of using new item, for example, you would insert main.newItem inside the parentheses instead. This will make it so that the new item is being referenced from the context of the entire class, rather than referencing a line of code that has not yet been instantiated. Now, to add items to this new item group, all you need to do is, after the Fabric item settings inside of your new instantiated item, just go to .group, and then inside of these parentheses, insert your new item group, which is going to be main.newItemGroup. Now, to set the name of your mod tab in the game. For this, we are going to go to Resources, Assets, and then lang, nus.json. In here, we are going to include, in quotations, item group.tutorial, which inside of main is the namespace .general. Now, where did this general come from? That came from right here. This is the path that we are going to use to assign the proper name. Put in a colon, and then in quotations, here is where you are going to name the mod tab. For this, we can do anything like tutorial mod or tutorial mod items. Go ahead and use whatever you please. Now, in a previous tutorial, I discussed this little squiggly sign here, also known as the section sign or section icon. At the time, I didn't know the Windows combination for it, but now I do. It is Alt 21, so just hold down Alt, type in 21, and then the symbol will appear. Of course, this is not required, but if you do want to assign a color, go ahead and use that squiggly sign, and then my color is going to be blue. I discussed in my first fabric tutorial for items how to assign these specific colors. Go ahead and check it out. Now we can run the client. Looking at the creative tab, it is, of course, tutorial mod items, and it is that lovely aqua color. That's all we have today for item groups. Now let's move on to the second topic of this tutorial, tooltips. Now, tooltips are quite self-explanatory. They are the portion of text that appears under the item name on an item that gives further information about the item. Instructions for this do exist on the Fabric Wiki, but I'm going to go a little further than that and show you what I like to call conditional item tooltips. So let's hop right into it. Go ahead and go into your item class, new item, or whatever item you would like to assign a tooltip for. In this case, I will be using my new item class, which we did use in a prior tutorial. We are going to start off with another override, and then we are going to call the append tooltip method. So go ahead and type in public void append tooltip, and inside of the following parentheses, we're going to include item stack of type item stack, comma, world of type world, comma, list, and do these little call signs here. A lot of people call them carrots, but their official name is actually call signs. Inside there, put text. Then we'll call that one tooltip. You're going to have to import text. Be sure to use the net.minecraft.text import. And then here on list, go ahead and import that class as well. Have another comma. And then lastly, of type tooltip context, variable name tooltip context. Go ahead and insert some braces. And finally, here is the magic formula for adding a tooltip. Here we are going to insert some basic information about the item. And to do that, we are going to go to tooltip.add, have some parentheses. Inside of those parentheses, create a new translatable text. And then finally, insert some quotations, and inside there is going to be the contents of your tooltip. Additionally, you can also create a tooltip that is a different color. So let's go ahead and add another line by just cloning this line here, change the message, and then inside these parentheses here, right after the translatable text parentheses, put a period, formatted, then go to formatting, and then you can choose from these colors here. I will choose blue. Now, I am aware that pure cobalt is not actually blue. I actually have a sample of cobalt ore on my desk here, which has a thin layer of polished cobalt oxide on the surface. The sample is very dense, and it has a slight blue sheen to it, which is kind of cool. But you will find that in most cases, it is only cobalt derivatives or minerals and compounds that contain cobalt that are actually shades of blue. Tangent aside, this is a tutorial video, and the contents of this tooltip are just a proof of concept and are not required to be complete factual information. Alright, now let's hover over our cobalt ingot, and both of our tooltips work. This one is the plain white text. This is a cobalt ingot that makes noise. And then after that, we have the second tooltip, which says cobalt is blue. Now, this is not actually the feature I was referring to when I said conditional tooltips. The following portion of this tutorial explains how to change the tooltip of an item in-game by the player, the method of which I figured out this morning in an attempt to figure out how to detect certain keystrokes from the player. There was a rather simple method of doing this in 1.12, and it was simply a matter of finding another method that works in 1.16 as well. As far as I know, this method is not present anywhere else on the internet or in any of the Fabric documentation, but I hope they make an amendment to this in the future, as I believe it is incredibly useful. Now, for this, we are going to create an if-else statement. It looks somewhat like this. For some of you who are new to Java, an if-else statement in Java operates something like this. If the contents inside of these parentheses is proven true, then it executes this line of code. If not, the else statement will be executed, and this line will be executed. So, inside of the if parentheses, we are going to go to screen. There are multiple screens here. You want to import the net.minecraft client GUI screen. Go ahead and import that, and then you can choose any of these three, but I'm going to choose has shift down, as I want the tooltip to change as the player presses shift. We are going to go ahead and transfer over one of our tooltip lines of code, and then in the else statement, we are going to include another one, and inside of this statement, I'm going to include press shift for more information. We can change the formatting to something a little more tame. I'll make it dark gray. Oh, and we can go ahead and delete this one here. Basically, what this is going to do is if the player has shift down, it is going to give us more information. If it is not being held down, then it is going to ask the player to press shift for more information. Let's see what that looks like in the game. Alright, we have our cobalt ingot here. It has the same tooltips as before, but instead it says press shift for more information. Upon pressing shift, the tooltip changes to cobalt is blue. The player is allowed to switch back and forth whenever they are hovering over this item. You see conditional tooltips like this in big mods like Ender.io and Thermal Expansion, mods that have definitely proven their worth in the modding community over the years. I believe that using this type of thing in your mods will help in making your mod look more professional and more fun for the players who use your mod. Alright, that's all we have time for today. We went over how to create item groups, how to assign items to those item groups, and finally how to create tooltips and conditional tooltips that change upon player interaction. Thanks for watching. This has been MarcAura. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.
Welcome to the Enrichment Center.
Hey guys, it's me, right before posting this video. I'd like to take a quick moment to talk to my viewers of 2021. I'm aware it took me a long time to upload this, and my goal of creating videos bi-weekly over the summer has catastrophically been overridden by my need to satisfy the burden of college expenses. I will be going off to college now to study to become an electrical engineer, and my work days for the time being are over, finally. So I'm met with yet another grueling schedule, with one caveat: some free time in between breaths of fresh air. This awards me more time to work on my videos. I'm actually going back to college, tomorrow, so that'll be fun. I look forward to creating more for you to enjoy, and for those of you looking ahead, I wish you luck in your findings, and I hope my content can be enlightening to some of the things you are unclear on. I'd like to make some more entertainment-based videos as well, but will do my best to not let it hinder my tutorial making schedule. Krillix is also going to start making some content, which I hope you all enjoy as well. Shout out to the folks on Discord who have been helping me these past several weeks. You are amazing, and what you do for me is fantastic. I don't think I could possibly keep up with everything on my own as my viewership increases. All of you are so supportive and encouraging. For that, I am forever grateful. And with that, I leave you with one final message. Hope you all enjoyed, hope you learned something, and for those of you going off to school, best of luck in your studies. Good luck, and have a great day. See y'all later.